So what's up? Hikeda here. Obviously, I don't have time to do an intro for this one. This match was super long, ended up lasting like an hour and a half. Me versus Garrett again, and he's testing out a deck for that big tourney that's going on right now in the forums, and I was just helping him out. And I thought I'd show you this deck that I came up with Beckett. I think I talked to him about this deck actually. Beckett123. My deck, you can see Olmquad's fighting there. He's got a Orb of Unda attached. Beside him, there's Lord Van Bloot, servant of Aeon, with the Lord Van Bloot sickle. Chromax on the other side of him with an Ulmar's projector. In the back, we have Loma, Desert Wanderer, with a Azir armor actually. Ursus with a Orcus Undin, and then I think in the back is Arthoa, captain of the Azoa. This match is actually pretty epic that's going on right now. It's between his pop and my quad, and as soon as I saw Garrett's deck, it's a Bodil's Dagger deck. If you can't really see, there's the Fluidmorpher's Foe and DW and Airbeat. He's actually using Karaba and Tartarak, and this match goes on for a while. And if you couldn't see, my musics were Refrain of Denial, Canon of Casualty, Rhyme of the Reckless, 2 Caster's War Songs, and a Cadence Clash. Basically, my deck was built to annoy everyone because it takes little pieces of different metas and mashes them all together for super annoyance, which is this deck. I don't know what to call it yet. If you want to comment, maybe suggest a name for the deck, but I'm just going to call it a mixed bag of metas right now because of all of them that are there. So basically, the strategy runs off of Arthoa, captain of the Azoa, and his ability to make all stat checks go through, and it's like a cycle stat check, super cooled rain, mega roar type deck with some Geyser Gushes in there, and some Fluid Flames you can see in my hand, which are in the deck specifically for going up against decks like Garrett's, where he's running a Bodil Dagger army, and you're more than likely to see New in Voidland. So throughout the duration of this match, I'm going to try to keep one of those Fluid Flames in my hand, and this is actually one of the times I discarded one, and my Quad actually gets coated. So it's an even playing field now. Kinda. Move my Lord Van Bloot up, become more of a threat. Hopefully he'll take the bait, which he does, and Tardrack goes into Lord Van Bloot. Lord Van Bloot's more of a creature that's super good against element decks, so that's why he's in here, for that annoyance, and not the greatest fighter against the Dagger decks, obviously. He's coated quite quickly here, but that's okay because I've got 3 other fighters, and he only has 2 main fighters there. Riverlands, because it focuses on water, I take Ursus into Loma, and this goes on for a little while. Now I tossed Rust Toxic there because I couldn't make the challenge and it wasn't going to deal the same amount of damage as Geyser Gush would, or Power Cut for that matter. I got 2 Power Cuts. I played a lot of my music the first round because I wanted to try to take care of the Protector of Param. I found him the most threatening. So yeah, I'm just cycling a little bit. Now the biggest problem with his deck, or biggest advantage for him, is actually that Airbeat creature. And because of his ability, he can bring cards like Mega Roar down really quick to 5 damage. And there's a reason actually why I don't play that Mega Roar and I play other things instead. Because he's got massive gain on Nadrin, he's got heal, and he's got Airbeat's ability. So depending on what he chooses, he can switch up things in a different way. And basically, by playing that Liquescent Swirl, I tried to make him play Airbeat's ability to get rid of that extra counter on him, but that didn't happen. So I actually do code Loma with Ursus here. Now I'm going to split the attack by bringing my Chromax up. That way, my opponent, in this case it's Garrett, has to decide which he deems a larger threat, and I have the Ulmar's projector, so I'm kind of counting on Chromax being able to come back. But that seems to be quite meta, and Garrett actually has an answer for that that I don't know about. Then there's a counter gain. I think I just threw the counter on Loma, I think. I'm not quite sure. Um, and then there was an error. If you just caught that, there was a massive error. I actually had to restart the whole browser, and we got back into the match again. Luckily, I didn't time out or anything. So Chromax versus Tartarak goes pretty fast. And there's Gear Grind. He saved it for the last attack so that he'd flip my Almar's projector face down and make sure that it doesn't work when I get coated. Which is a shame for me, but very smart playing on his part. Yeah, I think if you guys can read that, he mentioned how he saved it for Chromax. I have a Parvish jungle to try to get some more circulation. He's actually playing Song of Stasis on my Ursus there, and I cadence clashed it, which was really, really silly on my part. Not silly, pretty stupid actually, because I ended up wasting cadence clash because he just played it again. His location was Kiru City, rearranged his creatures. Luckily, I have Impediment Mirage come up. I went after his Karaba. Now, some people may question this move. I did it for control. I don't want to face his Tartarak next turn. I want to try to take out as many of his support creatures as possible, meaning Nadrin, Fluidmarsh's foe, and Airbeat before I go after Tartarak. That will attempt to cut down on the strategy and his massive heal or energy gain. So what I'm doing is I'm attacking Karaba, and I'm going to use that Moped Mirage and put the Mirage right in front of Loma's spot, or right behind Ursus's spot, so that, and I'm actually going to move Loma over so she doesn't have to go into that spot, see? And then I put the Mirage down so he is forced to waste his location, which he looked at through his flash kick. So that gives me some tempo increase. I have Rock River Canyon, and this is an epic match between Ursus and Nadrin. And this goes on for far too long, but unfortunately I didn't have a lot of high attack. Well, I had a lot of attacks, but or attack damage. It's just that my opponent had so much gain that it's a 70 energy Nadrin versus a 90 energy Ursus. And so begins. I tossed the power cut. I tried on this one. We went at it for quite a long time. Basically, I still have Loma, which I never thought it would come down to just Loma. I thought my other creatures would be able to take care of another deck, but Ursus ends up biting it. I tossed Rust Toxic again because my courage isn't going to match up against Tartarek's size there at all, ever. Pardon me. So I was just looking at how many Mujiks he has to try to figure out whether or not what I should do. And he plays Nadrin's Gain for a bunch more times. And there goes Ursus. You ever think you'd see that? Nadrin Fluidmarsh's foe defeating Ursus? I know I didn't. So now, I didn't think that Tartarak can move off of that location there. I didn't know that. And it's at this point where I say it's all or nothing now. He doesn't have many counters left. I can throw up a Mega Roar fast to deal massive damage. I got a Primal Smash and Super Cooled Rain in my hand too. You can see I just drew the Super Cooled Rain. And I take his Tartarak down, and I was extremely happy. But his Nadrin still has counters. I think he only has one counter, though. So he can't play his last Mujik, which I found out was Psionic Serenade. Very smart. In a deck that's using Tartarak Psi, always be wary of the Psionic Serenades. I then go after Airbead because I don't like Airbead very much at all. Probably should have gone after Nadrin, but now in hindsight, knowing his last Mujik, of course. And then my last location was Drownicus Threshold, and this match was a nail biter because it came down to Loma versus Nadrin and very close energy. I needed to make sure that he wouldn't be able to gain that 5 energy, extra energy, and you can see my hand wasn't very good at all. So thanks for the match. Normally I say Hail KR. I do end up winning, but this time I'm going to put props to Loma, Desert Wanderer, because she turned out to be a really good fighter, and thank goodness for her defender. Thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it, and yeah, Hail KR.